they come out clean.
Welcome back to Birds and the Buckets. Another edition, special edition, man. We got breaking news, man. Malik, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm excited.
We got Nate already in the chat saying, yeah, Nate, was good. We got two very special guests, man. The first one I want to recognize, this is a new guest. We never had him on the show, Birds and the Buckets, 2 seasons and everything like that. This is one of the Twitter OGs, one of the Hawks Twitter OGs to be more specific. Moved from Hawks Twitter all the way up to the lead man now at Peachtree Hoops, my old stomping grounds, Malik's old stomping grounds / still current stomping ground and things of that sort. SB Nation, one of the smartest men that you'll ever talk to about the Hawks, Mr. West in our building. West, what's happening?
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Georgia Tech, great. West, by the way.
Yeah, I rep the A, man.
Man, got to. And then
the thanks for coming on last minute too. We appreciate
it. We just invited all these guys, by the way, in like the last 5 minutes.
Right.
Like just to pull back the curtain. The trade happened an hour ago or so. We just invited everybody within the last 15 minutes. So appreciate Wes for showing up for sure. And then the second guest, this is a guy who's been on multiple times in season 1 at our old home of Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Shout out to Terrence Moore over there and things of that sort. Man, just one of the more energetic and entertaining guys you'll ever meet talking about the Hawks. And an innovator, a very true creative mind, an author, a movie director, and a movie star and actor. We got Josh Chick in the building. Josh, welcome back, man.
We in the store. We playing pocket full of sunshine. You know what I'm saying? I got a pocket full of sunshine. We got Kristaps, man. Let's do this, man.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, like Josh said, Kristaps Porzingis is now officially an Atlanta Hawk. I think the biggest thing that really stands out with this deal is that the Hawks keep their trade exception, $25 million. So they still have to use that by July 7th. And rumor is they'll still be in play for a veteran guy who can immediately come into rotation for them. So with that being said, let me pull up the trade details. I guess just what was everybody's first reaction to this deal?
Yeah, man, it was. I mean, you could kind of see some like rumors. You know, the Hawks were looking to upgrade. Obviously, the East is kind of wide open. So you saw some stuff. There have been rumors the past couple of days. Boston, of course, is trying to reset because they had the Tatum injury. You saw Drew Holiday go out, so it was always like, well, it's possible. Like they got a link. Hawks don't really have a backup center. Clint Capella, Larry Nance, free agents. They're probably going to be either walk in or take a small role or whatever. So definitely in the market for a backup center. So once you start seeing the details, I was like, oh man, yeah, this could happen. It kind of makes sense. They were talking about the money from Mann and Niang both work. Saves Boston some money. I think I literally put a tweet out maybe like 5 minutes before it broke saying the money works. Like the Hawks would have to definitely include like a little bit of draft compensation, like a first rounder or something. And that was basically what happened, when the Nets got involved as well. But yeah, man, it's interesting. Obviously, like Porzingis he's been an all-star. It's a big part of the championship Celtics. Like you can't teach 7'2" and can shoot and can, do a lot of like high post stuff, pass a little bit. And then you're just like looking at like the prices, like, man, we just gave up, Mann and Niang in a first. You're like, that price, you really can't beat it. Like, so I think you got to be happy with it. Like, you get a guy who he's got all the upside. He's got 7'2" size, the size that the Hawks need. You only got him for 1 year. You got a little bit of like injury concern because he had that weird illness. He wasn't really playing very well in the postseason, but I think he put out something on Instagram today or yesterday where he was like back in Latvia talking about like, I feel great. I feel like close to 100%. Like I'm ready for the next season. So you feel like if he's over that illness, you're like, man, this is such a low cost. It's worth it. Like for someone to be that good, he fits exactly what the Hawks need. Like you got to be excited for it because there's just almost no downside. Like your only downside is you're losing the 22 overall pick, but you still get the number 13 pick. So yeah, I'm excited, man. He can be a 20 point per score, shoot 38% from three. You know, you got Jalen, you got Kongwu doing some of the dirty work. He's not the greatest rebounder or whatever, but like we got guys who can do the dirty work. You know, the Hawks were, when Jalen went down, they just had no size, man. They were playing Terrence Mann at the 4 at times. Like, it was crazy. So just to know you have size between Jalen and Okongwu, KP, Mo Gay, like, yeah, I mean, it's just got to be a way. Like, I feel like there's just almost no downside to it. So you got to be excited for it.
Malik.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, I kind of just looked at it as like they just did a KP for Niang swap. Because I honestly didn't know what Terrence's role was going to be coming into next season, especially with everybody coming in healthy and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, like Wes said, it's a lot of upside. I mean, the only thing that you're worried about is his health, and I think that's kind of been the thing with him, like his whole career, especially these past few seasons. But when he's on the floor, like I honestly think he might be one of, like, next to Cat, like one of the best 3-point shooting big, like fives in the league. So I mean, that's what the Hawks want. They want to space the floor. I think it'll help Jalen out a lot. Of course, it'll help Trey out and things like that. But good trade. I mean, you didn't like Wes said, you didn't have to give up that much either. Just Niang and Terrence and the pick. And I always felt like there was a good, like my tweet says. I'm just looking at the tweet right now. There was a good chance that they would draft 2 rookies tomorrow. So you still got 13, so you can still add somebody up in the lottery. You got a solid player in KP. Like, hey, this is a good trade in my opinion. Honestly's working already, man.
Yeah, SSB in the building. But before we get to Josh, because Josh is, he, as you see, like he's in the store right now, so it's a little shaky on the connection. But once things kind of clear up, we'll get his thoughts and things of that sort. Shout out SSB in the chat. He said Boston blowing things up. He's shocked. Windhorse literally said during the playoffs, SSB, like, Boston was gonna have to blow it up, man, because of all of the new CBA rules. Shout out to CJ McCollum, who ironically got traded today to Washington for Jordan Poole. In New Orleans, they're kind of doing their thing. Like, I'm interested to see if they get Jeremiah Fears and things of that sort. Yo, KD, he said the Hawks are back. Shout out KD in the chat. I am interested because Jeremiah Fears is just a guy who's been really mocked to them. And then, you got the other kid from Duke, the Khan kid who could shoot. And then, obviously the big. All 3 of those guys have been mocked to New Orleans. So it'd be interesting to see now with Poole kind of just swapping out spaces with CJ, like, I don't know how that works. I don't know. We'll see. They really just got to stay healthy. It's like the Hawks, but 10 times worse over there in New Orleans. Anyways, back to the Hawks. So, yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like Boston were sellers. Atlanta took advantage of that. And I don't think they overpaid at first. My first reaction was like, no, because I just assumed that they were going to use this $25 million on a vet because that's how it was reported. And then, the next thing that comes out is Porzingis to the Hawks. And I'm like, that's who you use it on? Someone who's not going to. I did the whole Tingus Pingus. I did the whole thing. But when I saw that it wasn't a part of it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a great deal. Great deal, because I feel like you pay an appropriate price for someone with, I guess, a high reward, if you want to say so. Because, like, if he does play, say I'm a little more on the low end, I'll say like 30 to 50 games. And then, you can get him healthy in April. In April and May, I think that's a win. Because that's better than what you would get out of Mann and Niang for 82 games. The 22nd pick, I was looking at a guy like Walter Clayton Jr., who could range from anywhere from like Brandon Goodwin Jr. all the way up to one of the who brothers, Trey Jones, like one of the Jones brothers or something like that. He could have ranged. That was kind of like his range in the NBA, and I think you can get any one of those guys in free agency or whatever the case. So. I think they paid a pretty fair price for him, and that's how I feel about the deal, man. Josh, is your connection low? You feeling comfortable about your connection? Get off mute and let us know how you felt about the deal. You still on mute?
Oh, I'm still on mute. One sec. Let me go check.
Oh, I was about to say you good now.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit.
You good?
Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. So honestly, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. I really feel like it's really a super team scenario because there's going to be a couple more guys who we'll have to get with that trade exemption. I think it's going to be one. You heard me?
You're breaking up
Bradley
a little
Beal.
bit. Okay. I heard Bradley
Okay,
Beal.
I'm walking outside. I'm walking
Yeah,
outside real
okay.
quick.
Oh yeah.
You hear me say Bradley Beal?
Okay, yeah. I only heard Bradley Beal. So we're gonna get back to you when you get outside. We're gonna get back to you when you
Bradley
get
Beal,
outside.
yeah. But
Okay.
Kristaps is incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
When healthy.
Yeah. So I'm saying put them all together. I think we win the championship. We win the championship. 2026, Game 7. Hawks win the championship. Hawks win the championship. Are going all the way, man. If the Pacers can go all the way to the finals, we can go all the way. Game 7.
I don't think we've had you since the Cam Reddish trade. The last time we had you on here, you said build the Cam Reddish statue.
Yeah. No, you're right. Cam Reddish, I think we can still
No, Josh, no.
See, I mean, he is a free agent, but I don't think the Hawks are going. I don't think they're going to go back to that one.
We need that. We need like wing players on the bench. Harris, I think Harris is a starter type player. Harris LeVert might be starting.
You got him starting over Ricochet?
Because I think Ricochet could have been the backup shooting guard. I think we have a backup. We need a backup small forward. So if it's not going to be Karras, we could still go for a backup power forward. So basically, if you look at the position, who will be playing, won't be playing, I don't think Clint is going to come back. So you got to eliminate Clint. So the backup center is probably Kristaps. So the starting center would have to be Onyeka Okongwu.
Right.
Or if it's not Onyeka Okongwu, you have to trade for DeAndre Ayton. Now DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, I was with you, Josh.
I'm not saying we would, but I'm just saying because we would need size and rebounding and block. So it's more for rebounding. We do need rebounding. Clint was mainly the rebounder last year. Onyeka is a great scorer when they let him score, but I think he's more of a power forward normally. Now, if Kristaps was in his prime, he would be starting. Kristaps in his prime would probably be a starting center. Real talk. But the issue is, like you're saying, with health, if he's not going to be healthy, he'll have to come off the bench. He'll be our Danilo Gallinari. Danilo Gallinari hits shots, pick and pop. Same thing with Trey, pick and pop. Danilo Gallinari, he will be in the same position as him. And just like even the guy we traded, Niang was shooting pretty well. So expect Porzingis to average 15 to 17 points next year.
How many games you got him playing?
58.
58.
Because he won't have to work nearly as hard. I think in the middle, I think they start him off progressively. Maybe he doesn't do back-to-backs. Maybe he doesn't always travel on the road. But when he's at home, play him at home every other game. And then at the end of the season, play him more, get him ready for the postseason. Will be anywhere between the 3rd or the 6th seed next year. Because the Hawks love getting an underdog spot. Maybe that 4 or 5 is their sweet spot. That 4 or 5, I'm not going to lie. The reason why that 4 or 5 matchup is good and they help the Pacers when they were in the 4 and 5, maybe we went anywhere between 47 to 65 games. But we need to make one more trade for that to happen. But like I was saying, that 4 to 5 spot, because the 1 seed is always going to be iffy. if the Cavs get the 1 seed, they can be beaten. If Orlando or another team that wants to overplay, they can be beaten in the second round. But then other teams, the Celtics are going to be a lot worse. Celtics are going to be a lot worse. They don't have Drew Holiday anymore. They don't have Porzingis. They don't have their depth. They're going to maybe try to go for another player in the offseason. I don't know. But the Celtics are not going to be as good. And they might trade Jaylen Brown. We might could strike out for if we strike out for Jaylen Brown. Wait, what would you want to
Who
Dyson
you
Daniels or
trading
Jaylen Brown?
Who you trading for JB?
Dyson Daniels or Jaylen Brown
Dyson Daniels?
for the
So-
Hawks?
Okay. It's probably gonna take a little more money. Hold on.
We have the exemption.
You're gonna stream on the trade. I'm
I,
streaming.
I, I definitely think it's gonna take Trey. You want that?
We have the exemption.
But the exemption only 25 million. Jalen getting
Yeah.
300 million.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
makes more than that.
you got to add maybe like 2 more players, maybe a Conwu with that.
I think like what Malik was saying. I think unless you get in other teams involved and stuff like that, the only person whose money really even is close to that on the team would be Trey's.
50-50. Because we wouldn't trade Trey. He's actually going to be locked in. But I think we go for like a big time guard. So we might go for Brad. Like when I say Bradley Beal, I'm saying Bradley Beal can get open shots. That's 25 points per game score. He's just catching and shooting in the corner. He's just spotting up like a real shooting guard should do. Or maybe we go for a Booker. Like we're gonna strike out because listen,
Josh, you can't just say, hey,
names, but listen to
Devin
me.
Booker. You
These
can't
general
just do that,
managers out here. Our general manager now is like Osinis or something.
yeah.
I mean the
Anzi.
dude is really underrated. So when I heard him speak, he wants to build the best possible team around Trey. You're gonna see Trey playing with players he's never played with before, but it's gonna be all-star caliber starting 5.
I feel it. All right, Josh. All right, bro.
That's it, John. That's it.
Hawks and 6. I saw that.
Yeah, Nate said Hawks and 6, man.
Nathan.
But yeah. Okay. So I guess in terms of the draft now, with no 22nd pick, all the focus is on the 13th pick. It was looking like some people were saying, I know Brad was 100% against this, but like my thinking was a big at 13, a backup point guard at 22. Now that is out the window, and as Anzi said yesterday, he's like best player available. It's almost certain that they're gonna pick a wing now. So I guess the Carter Bryant guy now. Who do you guys think is the 13th pick? Do you think how do you think this trade affects who's going at 13? Does it change who you thought was going at 13 before? How you feeling about that?
I definitely think it changes things, but I also feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe went maybe center. I don't know. I definitely feel like at this point it's maybe like a wing or a forward or something like that. But that's always what I felt that they were going to do at 13. Like Carter, Murray Bowles, like those 2 guys. I think those 2 would be cool. But I think it does. It may change their philosophy since they got KP now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they, like I said, Ansi Salah was saying best player available. And I think they still go best player available. I mean, probably not a big. I mean, someone who could at least play the 4. But yeah, I mean, definitely, wing or forward. Honestly, I don't even think it'd be crazy to go backup guard, just because I think that's probably the biggest hole right now, depending on if Kobe Buffkin can kind of get going, stay healthy in his 3rd year. But yeah, I mean, I think Carter Bryant or Cedric Howard's a guy who's flown up the boards, coming from Washington State. He turned down going to Duke. He could, he could be nice at 13, kind of 3-and-D guy. Colin Murray Boyles, South Carolina. He's kind of a 4, but he can handle the ball and stuff. So, yeah, man, I think it'll just be best player available. Man, I think, we talked about earlier with like the trade player money, they have 25 million that they can spend. Those will probably be veteran stuff. Like, so I think they could really lock in like a 9-10 man rotation. And so that guy that drafted at 13, you don't really need him to play from day one. You can kind of work him in easy. So yeah, I'm all for Bryant or Coward would be good gets right there.
Yeah, man. I think this pretty much retires. Maybe not. But the Asa Newell and the Derek Queen falling to 13 and the trading up for Cayman. Is that how you pronounce his name? Cayman?
Yeah, come on, Molly Watch.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that was out there. I floated out there, but yeah, you definitely. I mean, yeah, I don't see them doing that. I mean, if somehow he fell to 13, you think about taking him, but probably not. I mean, he's probably going top 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there definitely should be. Like I said, I feel like there's going to be someone that kind of slips, like, kind of like how Jalen Johnson kind of fell. Like they weren't expecting him to be at 20, so he kind of fell. So really, just whoever kind of slips, just take them. Like I said, the Hawks, they're not done making moves, but it's not like they're trying to like, fill in a gap here. Not like they're trying to like they need a rotation guy from day one. Now that they got, like I said, with Porzingis, I feel like they're gonna make some more moves. So yeah, I mean, best player available for sure.
On the day of the 2020 NBA draft, a report came out that Anthony Edwards cared more about football than he did basketball. I remember the Larry Townsend, that didn't matter because he still went number one. The Townsend draft, like where the bong video came out and he slipped in the draft. What if something incredible comes out about this kid right here? And he falls to 13.
Oh man, I don't know. I would want to know. I want to know what it is because I'm like, this dude was supposed to go number 3, and then he was talking crazy. Like, I only want to play on the East Coast. Like, he canceled a visit with Philly, canceled a visit with I think Utah. So I was like, part of me is like, I kind of need to know what this dude is. He's got all the talent in the world. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm getting. No offense to the Cam Reddish fans in here, but I'm getting some Cam Reddish vibes. Like he might think he's the guy, and he ain't quite the guy in the NBA. So, but it's like at 13, it's almost like maybe it's worth the risk. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about it.
I definitely think. Yeah. Oh, my bad, Malik. I was just gonna say. I definitely think if he slips all the way to 13, from 3 to 13, just take him, bro. And deal with it later. If he's got an attitude, he's playing. He fell to 13. If he's got an attitude, he's going to the Hawks and he's gonna have to back up Risha Shea and man, I'm really the number one pick. I'm better than Risha. Nah, you start all that. Wait. First of all, Omar Cooper is a great black father. He put multiple kids in professional ranks. We're not gonna do that to Omar Cooper. Shout out to that black man and a great entrepreneur on the side as well. So we're not going to do that. But in the case of any type of, you know what I'm saying? He said, I already dealt with this organization before. Y'all ain't going to do him like y'all did my son. We're not doing that. Trey, what's up? You just listening, Trey? I know Trey.
What's going on, fellas?
Man, I can't call it. Trey, how you feeling about the Porzingis trade? And how do you think that's going to affect the Hawks draft?
Man, I think that I think it was a great trade. I think that we got a 7-3 starter for peanuts. I know a lot of people don't feel like, I wouldn't trade a first for Porzingis. I would just ask you why not? He's 7'3". He's proven he can score. If he can give you 50 games, I mean, I think it's 100% worth it. In all reality, I would love to get you guys' opinion on it. When I see a pick 23, there's not many.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Starters,
for sure.
Or even going to really contribute that much. I feel like they spend in a G League.
Yeah. Typically, late first rounders more, more than Yaquez, or how you say his name, Jamie Yaquez. More than those guys, you get like a G League or a two-way guy. You know what I'm saying? And it was like Brad was speaking about this too. I'm referencing Brad a lot just because I've been watching them ever since their 2000th episode. Shout out to Locked On. But yeah, like he mentions a lot how like Taurean Prince is kind of like the ideal number 13, number 12 guy that you would get, like someone who is just a decent role player for 10, 15 seasons in the NBA. So definitely at 22, you're just hoping you're like, man, we hit big if the dude can stay on a roster for 5 seasons, you know? So that's how I feel about 22. And I agree with you there, Trey. Like I said, my guy at 22 was Walter Clayton Jr. to shore up that backup point guard spot. But his range was so far, he could have been, nothing, or he could have been just kind of like one of the man, I keep getting their names. I keep blanking out on the names. Jones brothers. But yeah.
Yeah, with the Ace Bailey thing, it's like if he does drop that far, it has to be a super duper red flag. Like it's something that's like has to be terribly wrong for him to drop that much after being like locked in at number 3, and then he's just dropping that far. I'm trying to think. Has there been a player that has done that?
Shador Sanders.
Shador Sanders.
Shit.
But no, Bobo.
I meant like in basketball.
Bobo.
Basketball.
Yeah, Bobo to go on. Sharif kind of had that drop. Like he was supposed to be like top 20, and he fell all the way second round. But I mean, that wasn't anything like off the court. That was just he just kind of measured up too small at the combine and all that.
Yeah, and truly, like Wes said, I think that's just another like Cam situation. I mean, it sounds like Ace is kind of saying it now instead of like, I don't know. I feel like people didn't really get that vibe, I guess, off rip with Cam. Like he thought that he was the guy or something like that until like after he had that breakout game in the conference finals.
It was the run the Eastern Conference Final because he was hurt. He came back against the Bucks. I think he had one like big game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not reporting anything, but just the rumors I heard was he felt like he should have had a bigger role after like coming back and having a couple big games against Milwaukee. And they got him up out of there like halfway through the next season. Like Travis Slink was like, "You're going to New York now." Like
I feel like I hate to go back to the Cam days, but the funniest thing about Cam was like when he'd have like a good game or something like that, and he would just like be like cussing or yelling like at random people. And John, I remember John was like, "Yeah, he just be doing that sometimes. Like we don't know who he talking to." I just thought that was always funny about that.
No, yeah, I remember that. He just be shouting after plays, like not at anyone particular, just like if he's mad or excited either. I don't know. Like I said, he just be talking to himself out there, but I don't know. So like I said, it's like you never really know what's going on behind the scenes until later. So I mean, I feel like honestly, I feel like Ace is gonna go to Washington. That's what I've heard, like, because Washington just kind of made that move. They trade Jordan Poole. He kind of sound like he was talking like he wants to stay on the East Coast. Washington's rebuilding, so they can kind of just like give him the keys, him and Sarr and everything. But like I feel like if he drops past Washington, I think that'll be like red flag territory. Like what's going on?
Because where's Charlotte? What pick is Charlotte?
Charlotte is 4th. I think it goes Charlotte 4th, Utah 5th, Washington 6th.
Lord, I hope he does. I don't want him in Charlotte, but it's just like I don't know. It's a lot of bad hoops going on in Charlotte. I've been saying this for a minute now. A lot of bad hoops going on in Charlotte, and I don't know if he's trying to fit in with that or not. But I wouldn't want him to go there. But I mean, the way he's pushing himself out of Philly, like a actual like playoff team when they're healthy. I mean, Utah isn't that like intriguing, honestly. But I mean, yeah, Washington. Yeah, if there's anything past Washington, yeah, I would definitely see like red flag for sure.
It sounds crazy on paper, but it's like you gotta think about it like this, right? If I was the star high school prospect, I moved from Tennessee to Metro Atlanta, and I got on the little magazine covers. I'm getting the Ball is Life mixtape. I got the kids signing autographs from the time I'm a junior, sophomore in high school, right? And then I go have a pretty good one and done season. Don't hurt my draft position too much, and I declare for the draft. Did I work my entire life to back up Paul George?
But would he back up Paul George? I mean, Paul George got that. Is the man gonna stay healthy? Is Embiid gonna stay healthy? It's like I feel like he could have just sort of like gone with it. Maybe he's a small role right now, but Philly might have to tear down in a year or two. You know what I mean? And then he can be the guy. He can be like him and Maxey. But I don't know. It sounds like he wants to be the guy from day one. So like he's cool with going to a bad team and getting buckets. Like
You go to Charlotte, that ain't gonna happen with
yeah,
Brandon Miller.
Charlotte's its own. They're in his own thing. They exist somewhere. I don't know what they would do. Like Malik said, they got some bad hoops down there. Like they got some vibe issues.
Yeah, I feel like New Orleans. I mean, Dumars should get him straight like that, or allegedly that's like his
Yeah.
whole thing of like scaring the young kids to like take Joe to bed, like that's supposed to be Joe Dumars in New Orleans. But like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like with Jordan Poole and Zion, they're entering that old Houston Rockets, Charlotte Hornets territory, man, with the youngins just running what they want. Their heads fall off, man. They get into that, but we'll see. But yeah. I think Washington, like you said, that's a great option right there because you got what they call the civil rights backcourt of Brogdon and McCollum. And then you got Shar in the front court, and you got Ace on the wing. That's pretty nice. Nice rebuilding squad and stuff like that. They're gonna have some fun games. CJ always goes off for 40 randomly every now and again. Brogdon's probably gonna have a couple standout games, and then Ace is gonna have his chance to get off, and so is Shar. So that's a fun situation. Pelicans is another situation like Philly, where it's like, okay, if you fall to New Orleans, it's crowded. It's crowded in that wing area. You're behind one of the best young wings in the league. So it's like, if he stays healthy, if Trey Murphy stays healthy, you're behind Trey Murphy for X amount of years. I don't know, bro. I just don't know over there. But they could be hurt, and that could be your team too. Brooklyn, Cam Johnson, is he going this off season? Speaking of it, would you guys use the trade exception for Cam Johnson?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Cam Johnson. I don't know how he's still on the Nets, to be honest. Like I'm surprised he didn't get traded by now. But yeah, he'd be solid. Like I mean, I guess he'd be like your seventh man off the bench because you're not benching Jalen. I don't think so. Um, yeah, I mean he'd be solid. I've heard. I mean the rumor I keep seeing today is Nickeil Alexander Walker um, basically sign and trade with Minnesota to go into that trade player exception. Like I don't know, he might be like 15, 20 million a year or something like that. But he'd be a solid like backup point guard who can play with Trey as well. Um, yeah, either of those guys would be definitely solid. Like you're definitely looking for like a really good bench player with that 25 million.
100% agree. Go ahead, Malik.
Yeah, no, those are my two choices too. Of course, I keep seeing Nikhil, and then I saw a little bit of Cam today too. So either one of those. I just don't. I mean, with the whole sign and trade thing, like if let's just say you're getting a kill, like what are you sending out? Are you sending Kobe and what else?
That's probably all it's going to take, right?
Yeah, I was like,
an
like I
exception.
said, I'm trying to think. What would Brooklyn want? They probably want like Kobe. They want like young players and picks.
Do you? Dang. I mean,
Oh, picks is well for Cam Johnson, I think it's worth it. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'll do the pick. Yeah.
Now for Alexander, I don't know. I don't know about Buddy. like that's asking a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I would do it for the free ski. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, here's some money, Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Sign and trade. Woo, woo. But like picks and players for him, I'm like, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Is there a scenario where the Hawks sign Karras and then trade him to like what Minnesota?
Dude, no, I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like they've been talking this whole offseason about when to bring him back. So I mean,
you need that scoring, bro. Like,
you need
Bogey's going. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going you have coming off the bench?
No, that's
they
true.
need LeVert. Like,
Yeah.
If I'm LeVert, I'm like getting out every single penny out of Atlanta because it's like, who you got that's going to come off the bench and score? They ain't got nobody. Like, the Hawks need LeVert, bro. So, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you because I feel like they got, like you said, they got no one off the bench who can, like, get you buckets. Like, if Trey or Dyson's hurt, like, they got to figure that out because you can't really trust Buffkin yet. So, they if it's not LeVert, it's got to be someone kind of like LeVert, like, who can go out there and get you, who can, like, step in, start, or, like, finish a game and get you, like, 15 points a game if he needs to.
100%. Dang, I had a question. It was like, dang, what was the question of the player? Josh, you had anything you wanted to say? You outside? It's been
we outside, my boy. We outside. We outside. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it lit. Okay, y'all. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for the season, bro. Like, I can't wait. I think the finals were a disappointment. Like, we know how the Burton got hurt. We know how they got the little injury. But let's be real, y'all. It was disappointing before that, bro. It was not living up to expectation. I mean, the games were nice, but the power, the strategies were like, nah. It was not like Warriors, Cavs, or like even Spurs, Heat. You know, there's no like future in it. Like, I feel like the refs kind of win SGA games. I'm not no disrespect to SGA. It's just more. I feel like the future is more. You put a team like the Hawks, like Atlanta's popping right now. If Atlanta's in Indiana's position, that's ratings. You know what? Game 7 is ratings, of course, but the whole series is like nonstop. Halliburton, that should have been Trey, and he should have went all the way. He should have won a championship. Let's be real. Put Halliburton in Trey's spot. They win the chip in 5 games.
But it wasn't.
They win the chip in 5 games. Let's be real.
You got
put Trey in Halliburton's spot.
Josh. You got to respect the man that won. You got to.
I got no chill. Listen, Halliburton was a good player, but he's not Trae Young. He's not.
I agree, but Halliburton won. Halliburton won and Trey didn't.
The issue about it, the matchups, most of the teams that the Pacers were playing were hurt. Can we be real? Yeah. Some of them were like not 100%.
They still won the games.
They had some fluke wins, up by 15 in the fourth quarter. Teams got lagging. It could have went either way. Imagine that many comebacks. I couldn't imagine it. My phone's at 5%, but I'm going to see y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all. Get me on the next one because we're going to make a trade tomorrow. We're trading the 13th pick. Mark my word, we're trading the 13th pick for another all-star. Trade's about to go all the way. Let's do it. Layup off the glass. Slam dunk, but not John Collins. We're not getting John Collins. I know some of your fans be like, let's get John Collins back.
I was just about to ask you.
We can't get John Collins back. I think Utah was a sign that he's not, let's say, a winning combination with teams. But he will be good on like maybe a Wizards team or maybe like maybe a Detroit. I don't know, but 45 wins is his plateau. Trey deserves a 60 win or 50 win season at least a 50 win season. All right, y'all.
Hey, love Josh. Appreciate you for stopping by,
Appreciate y'all.
brother.
Appreciate y'all. A-Town down. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all
Big
make sure
Mira.
y'all follow Josh. He got movies and books and everything like that. This is Twitter. Y'all make sure y'all follow Josh, man. King Josh,
Put some great
Chig,
stuff.
man. You know what I'm saying? Show love to my boy for sure.
Appreciate y'all. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, Josh. But yeah, my question, man. Oh, we got Trey back. Trey was good. I was getting to this question, man. We hinted towards it right there. Would you use the trade exception for one of these guys?
Colin Sexton, yes.
Colin as a backup PG?
100%.
How you guys feeling?
Yeah. Sexton would be nice. Yeah, like I said, kind of like that Levert role. Yeah, go out there and get you a bucket. You know, I don't know. He's interesting to me because it's like I never know. Like I feel like he's been like up and down in Utah. He was kind of up and down in Cleveland. You always like waiting on that breakout, and he hadn't really broken out. So if he can accept like coming off the bench, just being a backup guard, yeah, for sure. Like I think yeah, definitely something the Hawks need.
Yeah, I definitely take Sexton. Definitely, I mean, I feel like they've been looking for that solidified backup guard behind Trey for a minute now. So I think he fits in perfectly. But yeah, like Wes said, I mean, he's kind of been up and down, but hey, maybe he'll do better coming back home. You know.
I don't know if I agree with y'all, man. I mean, I'm not going to consider him an up and down player. I think you got to really understand his role. And Rashad know this. You know, is like he is a score first point guard, right? So I mean, if you look at his numbers, I mean, the kid he's averaged over almost 16 points a game since he's been really in the league a lot. And when you look at his role, he's the first 10 or the last 10. And what that means is, he's either going to score in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock, or they passing the ball in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock, as in like somebody got to get a bucket. So I think that fits exactly like what we may need here in Atlanta, man, because we don't have somebody. If Trey gets double teamed and we end up passing it to Niang or whoever, who do we pass to that can get a shot off in the last 10 seconds outside of Karis LeVert?
Niang gone.
Yeah, Niang gone now, but like outside of Karis LeVert, like this year, that was the only other person we passed the ball to that get a shot off in the last 10 seconds. Everybody else, I think one thing you got to work you get with Colin is somebody that can create their own shot that you don't have to run offense for.
No, that's real for sure. No, I definitely think he's definitely somebody that can get their own shot. I think if they don't, I'm pretty sure they'll most likely re-sign Karis. But I mean, having somebody alongside Karis coming off the bench like Colin who can get their own shots and stuff like that, I think that would work out for sure.
We got Crit in the building. Crit was good.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good.
All right.
What's going
Would
on?
you bring if you're the Hawks? Oh, are you about to speak about it? Go ahead. I'll let you
I
go.
was going to, yeah. If you make me choose between those two, I would pick Sexton. I would not use my trade exception for those two, but if you're making me choose, then I would choose Sexton over. We saw what Collins did the first time in Atlanta. It didn't work well. I think they have Jalen Johnson, who's a better version of him, and they just got Porzingis. So getting John Collins again, I don't see it. Sexton, like everyone said, I think would be good. A guy that creates his own shot. They need a backup point guard, but I'd rather use that on a wing, my trade exception on a wing if I could, as opposed to getting a backup point guard.
Sexton is definitely better than Brandon Goodwin Jr.
No doubt about it. Shout out Gwinnett County.
Shout out Gwinnett. Shout out Gwinnett County. Shout out North County. Also shout out Cobb County though. Shout out Pebblebrook and things of that sort. But I mean, yeah. All due respect to Brandon Goodwin, Colin Sexton's better. So it's like, I don't want too many Hawks fans like turning up their nose to Colin Sexton, and it's like DeLon Wright was the best backup point guard this guy has had for like the last 7 years. It's like okay, let's take a step back and let's look at the wide range of things here. It's like Jeremy Lin was pretty solid for like half a season. DeLon Wright was good for a year. That's kind of it. Brandon Goodwin had a couple games where Trey got hurt and he scored like, he had the Clippers game, and then people held on to that for the rest of his tenure with the Hawks. So
would y'all consider
I
Lou?
don't think it's turning your nose up though.
Oh yeah. I'm tweaking. Lou was his best backup. Lou was
I think if you consider Lou the point, I think it was probably definitely Lou. And then you go from there.
No, I definitely don't think anyone should turn their nose up at it. I don't think you should turn your nose up at it. If they can add him, go for it. I would just rather use my trade exception for a wing. I think that could benefit this team more than adding Sexton.
Keep in mind, he's an 18-point per game career scorer. There ain't too many out there like that.
No, but he'll have a reduced role here, though. So, not that he's capable of getting 18 a game, but he's have a reduced role. So, how much would he
He
give
has a
you
reduced role in Utah, though. He's not starting in Utah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
18 points per game.
Oh, he was starting in Utah?
No, he didn't.
He wasn't starting?
No, he was behind. They started what's the kid
George?
that came out of Baylor or something? Keontae George and Jordan Clark.
True.
Yeah, no. But I
18
mean
points per game.
Yeah. I mean, Trey already knows where I stand with Young Bull. Like, I've been a Young Bull guy since high school, but I'm a bit biased because I am from Cobb. But
you went to Pepperbrook, right?
Yeah, he went to Pepperbrook. Yeah.
I said you went to Pepperbrook.
No, I went to Marietta. Don't do that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I know a Blue Devil when I see one.
For sure, 100% Marietta. Nothing but the May. But anyways, yeah, man. I don't know, bro. Like, I think it's a good option for backup point guard, everything like that. It'll be interesting to see how exactly they use that and how the draft goes tomorrow. Wes, if you're good, I'm good with you. Wes been on for an hour now. So if you want to scoot out, it's cool. Hold on, I'll let you get your final words and things of that sort. If you ready to scoot out, and I'll pull you up.
I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, I mean, I think this move is big. Like I said, you're not giving up much. Just getting up that first and couple players that are, just depth guys. So yeah, man, I like this move, man. Excited for it. Yeah, you can find me at BlogHawk on Twitter. I manage peachtreehoops.com. So please come check that out. We'll be doing draft breakdown. Whoever we draft tomorrow, we'll have some stuff breaking that down. So yeah, come follow us. We also got, I got one of my writers, Glenn, broke down the Kristaps Porzingis trade. So we'll have that posted either tonight or tomorrow morning. So yeah, man, come visit Peachtree Hoops for all your Hawks news and analysis and stuff.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Wes, man. Showing love last second, man. Especially considering the fact I gotta say this here with you here. I gotta say this with you here. Especially with me not contributing anything to Peachtree, for you to still pull up when Malik was like, "Can you show up on this Hawks podcast with Rashad?" And you was like, "Yes." I appreciate that, bro.
For sure, man. For sure. No, hey, listen. Anybody I read your stuff when you're on Peachtree Hoops. Before I was on Peachtree Hoops, like I stopped kind of writing about the Hawks for a while, and I was still reading Peachtree Hoops. So like, hey, man, like I was. Anybody who's done stuff there in the past and gone on to other things, like, hey, like I'm, still a fan of your stuff wherever you report from New Orleans and wherever else. So, no, yeah, I appreciate the invite, and yeah, happy to talk on your podcast for sure.
I appreciate that, Wes, and I think for sure now, I guess I owe you at least like a roundup or something. I owe you at least one.
It's been a minute. I'm trying to think. It's been a minute since you posted on Peachtree Hoops, man.
Well, it's been a minute since they paid me.
That too. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna get into all that. The budget is tight over there. It's tough out here for a blog, but
Oh
yeah,
no.
man, whatever you're willing to do, absolutely, man. We'll welcome it for sure.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it, Wes. Shout out to Wes, man. Y'all give it up for Wes.
Yes.
Y'all give it up for Wes.
Appreciate you, Wes.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. See you guys.
Crit, I wanted to ask you, being a Detroit guy and things of that sort, the East is wide open, bro. Just how you feeling about I know you probably feeling good because y'all already top 5. K entering his prime. Like, man, how you feeling?
You know how I'm feeling? Terrible.
Terrible.
My GM went on had a press conference today and pretty much said, "Hey, we're gonna rely on development and we're not gonna make any moves." So that's how I'm feeling. I think we're missing an opportunity here with Boston kind of shaking things up. Halliburton's down. The East is wide open, and there's a chance that if we just make a move, we could really contend for the East next year. I really believe that. We took the Knicks to 6. I know we didn't win, but we battled. I think last year's team kind of overachieved and played a bit above their heads. I don't know if they can repeat that if you bring back the same squad. I know Jaden Ivey missed a lot, and you expected him to play a lot better next year and improve, but you don't really know. Him and Cade have been kind of a mystery together. They haven't really figured that out. So now do we have to wait another season and a half to kind of figure out how these two can how they can make it work together? And then as far as Ashard Thompson, because I love Ashard Thompson, this is his first offseason, so maybe this helps. He last year he didn't have an offseason because he was going through he had a issue with blood clots, so he missed spring summer league and that stuff. So maybe he could take a step, but he's gonna have to develop a jump shot if he's gonna be an asset to the team. Ron Holland, you expect him to take a step, but how big of a step is he gonna take? And then Jalen Duren, I like him a lot, but he's not a modern center. He can't shoot, and so I like our team. I just think that we're missing an opportunity here. Like if we could go now, it's probably won't happen because they just traded for Jordan Poole. But like if we could add like a Zion, or maybe even add like a Sabonis, or just a stretch big at this point, I think that could help us out a lot. But we're not gonna do that. So I don't really feel confident about our team, honestly, and our chance to win the East next year.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel better if I'm the Pistons than I do if I'm the Hawks right now.
Really?
I feel like you gotta with the Hawks, they still gotta. They're not done yet. You know what I'm saying? Like they still gotta make another move, this and that. They gotta like pray that Porzingis will play 50 games. They gotta pray that Jalen Johnson gonna play 60 games. Like ain't nothing guaranteed with the Hawks because 2 of your biggest pieces, Jalen Johnson and Porzingis, is guaranteed to get hurt 20 plus games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know what all the Hawks fans celebrate, peace, Treevy. Nah. so I'm like, I seen it with Detroit. I feel like Detroit is a little more solid. Like I know Cade is. I mean,
I'm good with Cade.
I wouldn't want to say Cade's more solid than Trey. I want to respect Trey, but y'all got a solid base, man. Y'all got a solid base.
I know we do. I just wish we would have taken a step. I want to take another step. That's my point. We got a solid base, but I want to take that next step. And I think there's a chance we could have, but we're just sitting here on our hands not doing nothing.
Nah, I hear you. What you were saying, Malik?
No, I was saying Jaden coming back. So
I mean, yeah, he is. No, he is. But again, they haven't really figured out the combination of him and Cade playing together. So what is that gonna look like next year? Is it gonna be a seamless transition? I don't know. It's a question. And if he does take a step, well, all right. Maybe we're cooking with something. If Asar takes a step, we're cooking with something. So it's not totally dead. Like, I just wish we would have got something a little more solidified that makes it. Like, we're kind of hoping these guys take the next step. We're kind of hoping. I'd rather have someone that I know is going to come in and be the number 2 to Cade, as opposed to hoping that Ivy can do it or hoping that Asar can do it.
All right with it.
I definitely feel like after like y'all run, like y'all needed like definitely like a solidified number 2, because Cade and like all the other guys, like I mean y'all played great, but I felt like he might need like that second option. I don't know who that could have been. I remember like somebody was like, Tyler Hero, but that was literally like right after the playoffs. I'm sure the Heat are not planning on trading Tyler. I don't know what the Heat are trying to do, but
I don't either.
But like a legit scoring option next to Cade, I think that would be tough.
I agree, which is why I don't know why we're not trying to get one. And again, it could be Ivy. I'm not saying it can't be. I don't think they figured out that combination yet. So now we got to go through next season hoping they can figure it out. It won't be Asar. As much as I like Asar, it won't be him. And it won't be Ron Holland either. So we're kind of hoping and praying that one of these guys turns into a second option instead of going to get one. And maybe there's not one available. But to me, it just sounds like they weren't going to try to get one or try to find one. They were just kind of like, we're just going to rely on our development and hope our guys get better.
Today, right now, for everybody, with Halliburton out for the season, Damian Lillard out for the season, Jason Tatum out for the season, who do you guys have coming out the East next season?
Orlando.
If we're talking today and all teams are still intact, I'm gonna say the Cavs.
I'm going Cleveland too.
They had the most likely chance. I mean, they got the farthest, and there's no major turnover for them. I mean, the Knicks lost a coach. You know, Orlando's, they made a good addition, but they're still figuring it out. So if we're going as present day to day, I think the Cavs have the best chance.
I think Okoro's trying to get out, right? But he didn't play much.
He's also represented by, you know who?
Yeah.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Him too?
Yeah, they went to the same high school.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, man.
Powder Springs, bro. Powder Springs at the NBA factory, man.
McEachern kids.
Yeah.
I saw him last week at OTE.
Yeah, he be at the.
He's represented by Sharice's dad.
Yeah, Omar.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Good man, though. Good man.
But like I said, you know what I'm saying? Black man getting it done, black entrepreneur. He put multiple of his children in the professional leagues. Salute to Omar Cooper, man.
Yeah, all right. Shut up. The reason I say Orlando, I like the Bane move. I guess it's kind of like would you have rather Bane or Drew Holiday, whatever. But they went with Bane. I don't think it's a bad addition. I think that last year, their big three, they didn't really get to play much together. So now you're gonna get presumably a healthy Paolo, a healthy Franz. You're gonna add Bane and be a shooter. I think Orlando's gonna make some noise. I really do. Cleveland is good. I don't know if I trust Cleveland to get it done.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Who would you rather be in the East right now? Like if you were a team, you're like, yeah, I'd rather be them, like in the best position. Who would you rather be in the East right now?
I like the Knicks, bro.
You would rather be the Knicks, even though you don't have a coach?
Because exactly, you don't have a coach. Like you can get Mike Malone. You know what I'm saying? You can get Mike Malone. You already got. I ain't gonna lie though, they look really concerned in the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Like the Mikal Bridges thing, it didn't look that good in the Eastern Conference Finals, dog. And that was supposed to be it. So I say, yeah, I probably want to be Cleveland, to be honest. It was like, honestly, Cleveland, it was just like had a great season. They just folded in the postseason. They just folded in the playoffs. So it's like, I think you give that another try, you know. Okay, you get one fold. If y'all fold multiple times in the playoffs, it didn't work. Darius Garland, Mitchell, Spider, it didn't work. Y'all get one fold, that's it. Y'all fold multiple times, we got to split it up. Train DeJounte. I want to ask y'all this, man, because this was interesting to me. Drew Holiday is reportedly pissed that he went to Portland. Is y'all looking at Drew Holiday?
Are they gonna keep him, or are they gonna try to trade him again?
I feel like if Drew Holiday don't want to be there, then like he can force his way out, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, but I didn't even know they were gonna plan on keeping him. I thought they were trying to move him again.
The way the trade went down, it seems like they're going to move him again, because I was sitting when the trade happened, I sat there for like 30 minutes. And I was so confused on like how, like, just his contract. You would think that you would have to attach a first round pick to send him out, but it was Portland that had to give up the picks. So it's like it only made sense for him to move somewhere else. But I keep seeing that the Blazers are trying to be competitive in the Western Conference, and I'm like, even if you add Drew, like they're still like, I think bottom of the West. Like, I don't think they might be what 10 maybe. But I'd be mad too.
No, I don't, bro.
I went from Boston to Portland. Like, who wouldn't be mad?
Yeah.
Is Chauncey Billups still the coach over there?
Yeah, I think they just extended him too.
Yeah.
Do you think he's more mad because he's going to Portland or because he didn't expect to be dealt?
I mean, I think he had to kind of know he was just an option he can get dealt. The Celtics they didn't want to be in that second apron, so there's an option that he could have got dealt. So I mean, I'm sure he's upset he got dealt, but he was also probably upset he got sent to Portland. I mean, that's not even basketball purgatory. I don't even know what you call Portland. They're going nowhere. They're just stuck, and they're going to be at the bottom of the West. And adding him, like you said, makes them a 10 seed, if that. So I went from a championship contender to the worst team in the Western Conference. I'd be pretty upset too.
Point.
Another guy, man, that allegedly might be back on the market after getting traded this week is this fellow right here. I think for kind of more obvious reasons, like
Dang, that's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about that trade.
Oh yeah. We talked about this like a couple days ago. Should a guy who, no offense, hey, do what you want. Your personal life ain't none of my business. Do you want a man who's dating Dre and Michelle in Atlanta?
Oh gosh.
I don't see much of a benefit of having him here because I don't know where he would fit. I mean, are you gonna move Dyson to the bench? I don't think so. He's a defensive year candidate. I mean, you could move Rashad, but who's going to put the number one pick on the bench? So I don't really know where he would fit. And if you got Dre and Michelle out of, hey, I would say I'm not, from a personal standpoint, I'm sure he can handle it because Houston and Atlanta, they just about the same. It's not like he's coming from Minnesota or something, So he only has one baby mama to my knowledge. So he might get two here, but outside of that, I just don't see it from a fit standpoint. I don't see the point of it.
I mean, most dudes keep their side chicks here, so I don't know if you want to bring his main chick here with a side chick here. I'm just saying. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Because if you really think about it, right? Why can't the Hawks never get superstars? Most dudes' second families are here, and they don't want their first family to know, so they don't want to come here. You think about it, so.
You thinking, Crit? You thinking.
Hey, I'm just saying. But no, I wouldn't go get Jalen Green. It's not worth it. For a limit, his scoring upside is maybe there, but there's no defensive upside. Like you said, Dyson Daniels proved to be really good for you last year. Do you want to mess that up? And we should say he got better towards the end of the year. So I'm gonna roll what I got. If I do add anyone, it's gonna be a wing, but it won't be him. I mean, that's someone else. But no, I'm good on Jalen Green. His time in, I think he does need to change the scenery. So leaving Houston would be good for him, but I don't think Atlanta's the place for him.
Yeah, nah, I'm same way. Honestly, I don't even see how he fits in Phoenix right now. I don't see how that works unless you continue to keep unless you move in Book to point guard or something like that, or you bringing Jalen off the bench. I don't see how that works. But I definitely don't see it working here at all because I don't think that him and Trey would work well together in the backcourt defensively. And I mean, yeah, they'll get buckets all day, but defensively it's not gonna work. So I wouldn't do it.
Hypothetical. Well, this was like a possibility, I feel like, a few months ago, but now it's like over with for at least the next 3-5 years. Someone like Zion, because Zion handle Atlanta.
Yeah. Why not? No, but I think Zion never really wanted to be in New Orleans, so he had a better shot at succeeding here in Atlanta. I think with Trey, he's a guy. I mean, you're gonna have spacing, so he's gonna be able to get downhill and attack the basket. So I think actually he could have success here. And off the court, a lot of places to eat and a lot of nice looking girls. So if he can handle himself there, why not? But as far as on the court, I think he'd do well here actually. But then that's another another dilemma you have, because then now you have three guys who are injury prone that you would try to rely on, had to play all the time. Jalen Johnson, Porzingis, and Zion, and they essentially all play the same position. So now you're gonna have all three of your guys or your bigs. You have to worry how many games they'll play. But it also could be good because maybe you play them less minutes. Like for instance, Porzingis will play about 25 minutes a game with the Hawks. Jalen Johnson's probably played about 30 minutes this year, and then you have Zion play about 25 to 30 minutes a game. So, I mean, it could work. It could work, but I don't see them trading him now, though, since they...
No. He's not getting traded. He's there.
Okay, yeah.
After Dumars, he's locked in.
Okay,
for
yeah, I
at
think
least
so.
the next, like I think 3 to 5 years, but it could be shorter. Like if they have another season like last season, and and he finds himself into, I don't even want to speculate because then people might clip it. So no, I don't. Rashad Milligan ain't saying nothing, but I think Zion's gonna stay. I think Zion's gonna stay because y'all don't even do that. But yeah. What else?
Breaking news: Kyrie signed an extension.
Kyrie signed an extension right now?
Yep, 3 years, 119.
Dang. Hey, shout out to Kyrie agent. He got a 3 year. He like in his 30s, missing most of the season coming up. Y'all think CP gonna sign with them? Okay, because we were talking about it. We've been talking about it the last couple episodes of how CP probably going back out to the West Coast because he's talking about his family. But Dallas kind of makes the most sense for him in terms of fit and contending and stuff like that. So what do y'all think? Y'all think Chris Paul going to Dallas or back to LA?
By the way, Kyrie's only 33, so he's not crazy old.
Well, no, he's not crazy old, but he is like, like you signed an extension like on a season where you about to miss most of the season.
He's younger than Drew Holiday.
Oh, there it is.
CP to the Lakers or the Clippers?
No, Lakers. I don't think he's going back to the Clippers.
You wouldn't even touch the Clippers.
I mean, he may. I don't even know. I would say maybe more valuable to the. He may be more valuable to to Dallas next year since Kyrie's gonna be out the whole year. So maybe Dallas. He could probably start for Dallas next year. They need a point guard.
But
Kyrie
he's
probably miss.
But he's 40 and he is like, I miss my kids.
Well, I can see him. I mean, clutch Lakers. So I can see it happening. And going to the Lakers and being happy. I mean, he's about to retire anyway. He's not going to win a championship with the Lakers. But I guess I was thinking Dallas only because they got the young guy Cooper Flag. I thought they may want to kind of help bring him along. Well, they haven't taken him yet, but they're going to take Cooper Flag #1. So they may want to help bring him along. That's why I said maybe Dallas. But
no, Dallas is definitely the better basketball fit. It's just like it's up to Chris, like what he wants to do. And it sounded, oh snap, we just got some, oh man, that's gonna be good. That's a side note. I don't know if you guys know, I'm gonna do a side note, but the Tabitha Turner case, I don't know if you guys seen that whole saga on TikTok. Yeah, it was, we got an update with that. So be prepared to, I guess, get a statement or something addressing it soon. But yeah, that's just the update that we just got here just now. But yeah, in terms of CP, yeah, it's really up to CP because I think every team in the league wants him. After last season, he played all 82 games, started all 82 games. So every league team in the league wants him, but he wants to go on the West Coast to watch the baby because the baby is like 16 now. He's dunking. He got dreads. He darn near is taller than Chris Paul now. Like so, you know, I know he wants to be out there with them and see his growth, kind of like how Melo was with, you know, his son Cayenne and everything like that through high school. And I think Chris, his son being younger than Bronny and Bryce and Cayenne, he saw it firsthand of how it looks and how quick it goes. Like high school is only 4 years, and like, you know, it was like Bronny was the freshman coming off the bench as a 6-man. Then all of a sudden, Bronny's committed to USC. Like it happens really fast. So I think Chris is looking at that as a 40-year-old and is like, man, you know what? I know I could, you know, make a run here with Dallas because they couldn't make a run. But
Yeah, I know they definitely could make a run. That's why I would go to Dallas.
you got AD, Coop. They can make a little run for sure.
But if I'm Chris Paul, I may be looking at it as where can I make the most run, because you mentioned that he's 40 and it's like, how many more times am I going to get a chance to do this? His son's, I believe, a freshman. So if I spend 1 year in Dallas and we go all the way, I could retire and go spend the next 3 years with my son, and you know, versus going to the Lakers or Clippers, probably not the Clippers, but going to the Lakers, where I don't know about you guys, but I don't see the Lakers going anywhere, you know, anytime soon in the next 2 years. So you can go play another year of quote unquote meaningless basketball with more pressure because you're on LeBron's team, or you can stay and, you know, maybe get a contender. I mean, because I don't see Chris Paul playing until he's 45. So he might pull an Aaron Rodgers and say, this is my last season. I think him and LeBron are going to go out together at the same time. LeBron's not getting done this season, by the way, but I would imagine they're probably going to retire around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like both of y'all points, but the man went to a couple OKC games. I mean, of course, he was already on OKC before, and if he's looking for a championship, does he sign to OKC?
I think he's done ring cop. I think he's done ring cop, and after like Golden State was his one ring cop, he didn't enjoy that. Backing up Steph Curry, they didn't win much. Like I think he's done with that. I don't think.
What do you play for then?
But it's different. It's a difference going to like Dallas, where you're going to play, you're going to have a key role, and then going to OKC. OKC is like you're ring chasing. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a limited role. You're going to play limited minutes. You're going to be more of an OG than an actual player. In Dallas, you're going to be a player. In LA, you're going to be a player. But in LA, you're going to be a player, and you guys are going to be out by the second round.
Win anything, yeah.
Exactly.
Are you saying that his motivation?
I mean, but they have Luka too, so he's gonna still be in the bench role. He may have a chance. Well, I don't know if he'll start. He may have a chance to start for Dallas.
Yeah. Are you saying
he said he went to San Antonio, Trey, because he wanted to hoop. That's what he said.
So his motivation is playing time over championship contender.
Yeah, I think it was championship when he went to Golden State, and then after that he was like, nah. He was like, I just want to play at this point. So I think you get a mixture of both, the perfect mixture of both in Dallas. Craig, you brought up an interesting point, and I just want to ask y'all this kind of like as we might be headed to the end and things of that sort. What do the Lakers do now? Because it feels like the way that Crit brought it up, it was like, dang, like in your mind, you're thinking maybe they're just crippled by LeBron James, you know? But like LeBron retires and you have no assets because you used them all to get Luka. So like, what do they do?
And they sold the team, or Jeannie Buss sold some of the part too.
One of my friends hit me like an hour ago, and he was like, "Just hear me out. Just walk with me." He was like, "Giannis to LA." He was like, "Oh, like of course, like the wholesale and everything." And I was like, "That's not happening. That's not happening at all." But
what do they have to offer?
Everybody keeps saying Austin Reeves, like Austin Reeves is going to be like Austin Reeves is not like that.
No, just no.
No.
Remember when they had Kendrick Nunn and they was like, we'll give you Kendrick Nunn and Rui Hachimura for like, and it'll be some super like Jimmy Butler. And I'm like, this is not gonna happen, guys.
But can you have 3 Supermax players on a team anyway, though?
CBA rules.
Gotta ask CJ.
Yeah, I don't think they can either way. But that's a good point. Finish your thought. My bad.
But nah, I mean, I feel like the whole thing, like even before Luka got traded there, like the whole season, we need a center. We need a center. AD. Oh, I would love to play alongside a center. Didn't get a center, traded him, got Luka. Then the Mark Williams thing went through. Then it went away, and then it's like, oh,
Question, Malik, before you finish that thought. Do you use, as the Hawks, going back to the Hawks, do you use a trade exception for Mark Williams?
I like Mark Williams.
Yeah.
But can
I
he
do
play
too.
50 games?
What
I mean-
was in his physical that he failed? Like that's still you got to consider that too.
There's a back thing, I think.
Yeah.
Is he gonna pass the physical?
Or something. Yeah, that's true as well. I don't know. I mean, for the Hawks, is like at currently right now, I'm looking at Onyeka starting and KP coming off the bench for him.
I forgot they just got a center today. I keep forgetting, bro. Like I don't know why I'm like forgot that they just got a center, but I'm still thinking like center.
Yeah, but I don't see KP starting. So you're not wrong to ask for a center because Double O, you made a case that you can move on from him.
This man has never played 50 games in his career. Never mind. Stay in Charlotte.
Yeah, they tweaked on that one, keeping him instead of Jalen Duran. I bet they would want that one back.
Man, we were just talking about that last episode, how they traded Kobe, they traded SGA.
Yeah, nah, they're not a great ran organization.
Don't bring nobody to Atlanta that can't play 50 games, please.
Don't.
Oh, good luck. That's all they go for. Karis LeVert, they're gonna re-sign him. He can't play 50 games.
I forgot. Karis did have that on him, huh? That he can't stay healthy.
He can't. He got foot problems. If you have foot problems, go back to Michigan.
Jesus, man.
I'm gonna throw out a rumor there, but Cam Reddish to the Nets. By the way,
Cam Reddish to the Nets.
It's a rumor, but Rashad.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on, Rashad. No.
Rashad knows.
What was that?
You said that in the last one, right? You said in the
I said that on the last one.
Rashad knows. Rashad knows. So don't be surprised that when y'all see that. Rashad knows.
Cam to Brooklyn. Dang.
We got some.
Hey, Rashad, question.
What's that?
So you're okay giving up 22, right? Because you get KP and whatever. But would you still want to try and move up in the draft at any point? Because now you don't have 22 as an asset. You only got 13. So could you package maybe a Kobe Buffkin, 13, and whoever else to move up? Would you do that?
But who you drafting? Can't Ace Bailey? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying that I've been seeing that floating around. Some people want Ace Bailey, so that's why I'm curious. Would you want Ace Bailey?
I feel like that's a lot. Like you're putting a lot into Ace. You know what I'm saying? And what if he turns out to just be like, because it's like if you draft Ace don't want to play for. He don't want to back up Paul George. He don't want to back up this person. He probably don't want to back up Trey Murphy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
I have a theory on that too, and actually talking to my brother about it. I think the problem is he's not working out for a lot of teams because they kind of know he's extremely raw and unpolished. And like for instance, if you look at the video with him working out with Giannis, and you saw his footwork just wasn't there. Like he's extremely raw and unpolished. And I think maybe his camp knows that, and they're trying to kind of hide him, which is why they turn down a lot of these workouts. And why they don't want him to actually go through, because then teams will see like, oh dang, maybe he's not really ready, or if he's not where we think he is, or he should be, and then maybe the Hawks maybe honestly think that they can make it work. But see, Giannis is not. He's obviously learning from an NBA superstar here, but still, you can kind of tell that he's not. It's not there. He still has some room to grow, which you would expect from a guy that you take that early. But if you're the Hawks, would it be worth the risk to kind of put the time and effort into him, knowing the potential he can have?
Go ahead, Trey.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I think it would. I think from what I don't know the kid personally, but I think he would have a tough time in Atlanta. Just sometimes you got to go far to grow up. I think he may, with the influence that they're having in the draft process, if you want to bring him 20 minutes down the street with even extra more money, I think that could be a detriment to his progression. I also think he's going to need. Well, I'm not going to say that, but to your first point, if we're moving up, I don't think it would be for Ace Bailey. I would go for Jeremiah Fears if we were going to, but or the
I do like
model.
Fears a lot. I think Fears is really good. I think he's one of
those are-
the more underrated
that would
guys.
be it.
Trey, and Trey would love that. That would make Trey happy, Oklahoma guy.
Yeah. So I mean, if because we're probably not going to get into the top 5, so I'm assuming when you say move up, we're thinking about that 7 to 9 range. Maybe
would New Orleans be cool with that? Because I'm looking at New Orleans. I think that's where Jeremiah goes right now. 7 at New Orleans. Is New Orleans okay with Kobe Buffkin, the 13th pick? And they're kind of all in on Alvarado, holding it down until DeJounte gets back. But they might trade DeJounte now. I mean, he done went on the podcast and said, I don't want to play here. he just went on the podcast and said, I hate it here. They don't even have food. I can't warm up when I want to. When I was a kid, I said, I'll never live in New Orleans after Katrina. Like, he did that for a whole hour on the podcast, man. Like, so, if you New Orleans, do you give up the chance to draft a Jeremiah Fears, knowing that your point guard just said out loud, hey, this organization doesn't have anything organized about it?
He also said that before the trade happened, New Orleans was never in the picture. So
yeah, exactly.
Already did not want it either, I'm assuming.
What Mike Thomas say? We want volunteers, not hostages. That's what I'm saying. If I'm them, we want volunteers, not hostages. But I'm looking at this video, man. You're right. His footwork is. Malik, I think you said it, or Chris said it. Like,
yeah.
You're right. I mean, the footwork doesn't look elite, and I'm also looking at the body language, like the facial expressions when like he got to give the ball to Giannis. It doesn't necessarily. He looks more annoyed than like somebody like a sponge. You know what I mean? You ever seen somebody that really trying to sponge? Which brings me to this one question I have for you guys, because there's been a lot of Ace talk. Do you guys feel he's the most overrated in the draft? And when I say the draft, I'm gonna speak lottery.
Oh, you got to look at it from this point to start off. He's probably the 3rd most famous prospect in this draft. Like, it's Flag, Harper, and then him, because like he was so popping in high school. So it's like a lot of that carried him through the 1 year at Rutgers. So if you're the 3rd most known prospect in the draft, then yeah, if he's not the 3rd best prospect in the draft and he's the 3rd most talked about and 3rd most known, I guess technically, yes, he'd be overrated.
I guess I just think that he has his ceiling is like really high, right? The ceiling is the roof, as Michael Jordan says. But I think it's gonna take a minute. So I don't want anyone to expect him to come in and just fill it up right away. It is not gonna happen. So if you take him, he's gonna produce for you. He's gonna be good for you this year, but he's not gonna be probably what you expect him to be in year 1. But I don't know if he's the most overrated per se. I wouldn't say that. I just don't think he's gonna be. I guess by the definition, yeah. But no, I still think he'd be productive. I just don't think he'll be what you think he'll be in year 1.
They did lose to Kennesaw State, by the way.
Rutgers lost to Kennesaw State.
After KSU, shout out to the Owls. Shout out to Autumn Johnson. Okay, Malik, I don't know if you remember, but you were speaking about the Lakers and you stopped at Mark Williams. If you can remember where you were, I want you to finish your point, because that Mark Williams thing had me thinking about the trade deception, age options and stuff like that. And that's so, yeah, continue about the Lakers.
No, I was saying the Mark Williams trade didn't happen, and then Rudy Gobert just like dominated them the whole entire series. And then so I'm saying like the whole season it's been, we need a center. So I'm assuming that they think a center is going to, they're one center away from going to the championship or something like that. I honestly don't know.
The Lakers?
That's what they making it seem like. They made it seem like that all season.
Okay.
But I don't know. Possibly, I really don't know what else they need. I mean, I know they need a center, but I don't know what else they need on top of a center. To kind of just like keep them in that, because I mean they went on a crazy run at the end of the season, of course.
Luka to get in shape. That's what they need.
Hey, a report just came out that said he's lost substantial weight or something
But
like
it's
that.
June. Like
saw
you know,
It's
fat
not,
people.
it's not.
Not only fat people, like you lose weight in June, you be back fat September. It's like, dang, didn't you just lose all that weight in June?
Do y'all remember the time when people thought Jackson Hayes was going to be that rim protector?
Yeah.
That went out the window
I
quick.
do.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I ain't gonna lie.
protect
I wanted the
Ram.
Hawks to take him.
He can't protect his girl. He be hitting his girl. Go ahead, Crit.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
wow, yeah. Sorry. No, I just said I wanted the Hawks to take him when he was in that year.
I remember we were linked to him.
Yeah, he was supposed to go. He was supposed to go 10, I thought. And
They took him. They traded him for Cam.
Oh, you're right.
Oh
You're right.
yeah,
They did.
yeah. So we would have missed on both sides. So.
we would have missed on both sides.
All right. So that was the Lakers. That was the Hawks. Draft prospects. I know Wes. He talked about the wings and stuff like that. It seems like it's like I don't feel any more like I know what the Hawks are gonna do tomorrow than when we began this pod. Like I'm still in the dark. I feel like everybody is. It's just a matter of who's gonna take the calls and who's gonna accept them. So the Jeremiah Fears thing sounds pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. And I know that'll make Trey happy just because he's an Oklahoma guy. And you always want to keep Trey happy. I don't know what the Hawks do tomorrow night.
Did you guys reach a consensus on what position at least we're gonna target now that we got Porzingis? Like
I say wing. Me personally, I say
wing. A wing.
Sure.
Desperately.
Like a true wing or like a more of a shooter wing, or we're thinking the tweener 3-4, type.
I don't think it's Asa no more. Like I thought Asa had a chance of going, but I think that's done with.
Yeah, I think it'll be more tweener, honestly. Like, see it. I think
technically
like the tweener type of player. Like, so I don't know.
Is there anybody that you would be disappointed with if we draft? Like if you like at that place that we're linked to?
I mean, at 13, could you really be disappointed? I mean, at 13, you're take it's a hope and a prayer anyway. So I don't really know if there's anybody you can really be disappointed with because it's a gamble either way you go.
I'm more open to Europeans now. I used to be anti-European, but now Jared Oliver in the building. Jared, what the heck going on,
Jared
man?
Oliver.
What's up, man?
Jared Oliver.
What's good?
Like I said, I'm more open to Europeans now though. So it's like if they take a European, I ain't gonna be mad because I seen some Europeans hooping now. So I'm like, hey, it ain't like the old days. The old days, you take Darko Milicic, you like what? And he turns out to be worse. Oh yeah, Crit. I'm sorry, sore spot. But
That's all right.
But it ain't like that no more with the European. The Europeans be hooping just like the Americans now. So if they take a European at 13, I ain't tripping.
Okay, so right now ESPN has him taking Igor Dimin, a guard from BYU.
They need to bring on Nikola Juric. Ain't that his last name?
Hawks?
Yeah, last year's second rounder. Yeah. But he was hooping. In Summer League, he just got hurt. That was the only reason why he wasn't on the actual roster. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, shoot, maybe they could bring him in. He could, he could, put some pressure on Kobe. Hey, Kobe, if you don't, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? I like
love
Nico.
Kobe, but it's time to move on, dude. He's
I
been 2
agree,
years and
I
he
agree.
can't play. It's time to move on.
Yeah, it's time.
There's no pressure you can put on him, dude. You just got to catch your bait. Cut your losses. What about a guy like Liam McNeely from UConn? Would you take him?
Absolutely.
I've heard good things about Nick. Yeah, I've heard good things about him for sure.
He's a baller.
I think so too.
We have a second round, don't we?
Yeah, they got one from in this trade today.
Would you guys be okay with a Janai Broom
In the second round?
in the second round?
That's a good move as well. I mean, I don't know if his game translates, so that's a
It
bit of a
doesn't.
risk.
I don't
mean,
think
he
it
doesn't
does.
really.
I
He
don't
has
know.
no like vertical game, which is. I mean,
But
how can you play in the NBA at that position and not really play above the rim?
let's think
Which is a
about
little.
guys who that work for. Al Jefferson, Zebo. There's some
Yeah,
guys that just
All right.
know how to play.
Great
technically
points.
Jokic
Great points.
sometimes.
But I got one counter for
Good
you.
point.
What years did those guys play in the league?
I was about to say, Trey, you naming people from
Yeah.
20 years ago.
But I
That's
think
great.
You know
Janai
what I'm saying? Like the
Broom.
league, no, it's just the league
That's-
somewhat different now.
that's
They
a
could
good
have
point.
success back then.
I
Now
think
Al
Janai
Jefferson,
Broom.
no.
I think his game is a little bit limited. Like he loves to go left. He can go right, but it's almost like how like Jalen Brunson loves to go left, but you can't really stop it. But I don't know if that's the same Janai Broom. Like, is his game going to develop so much where even though you know what he wants to do, he can still put the ball in the rim? I just don't know. Like, he never really played above the rim. But like you mentioned, I mean, there are some people who never did it, And I don't think you have to be successful, but it's a rarity when some guys just have a special skill set, and I don't know if he has that.
The one thing he's
Okay.
gonna have to do is what did he shoot from three last year? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have to, I mean, if he's gonna he have to be able to stretch it.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if I can give you some newer names, Brook Lopez, he doesn't play above the rim.
Oh, but he can shoot though.
Sabonis
Brook
doesn't
Lopez
play
is a
above the
marksman
rim.
from the deep.
Sabonis doesn't play above the rim.
He don't, but he's
absolutely
a point
does.
forward.
Zubac.
Elite rebounder.
Isn't he like 7 feet though?
Defensive player of the year.
I mean, I think what's the name is 6'11" or something like that, right?
Broom?
Janai Broom?
I don't think he's 6'9". I don't think he's 6'11".
I think he's like
6'9".
6'9", 6'10", maybe.
Oh, okay. I thought he was, that 6'10".
No. He like 6'8", 6'9".
All right,
Like
well, that's
25, so he dominated
great
in
college player.
He's 6'10". That's what they got him listed as 6'10".
He's 6'10"? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
And
believe that.
that's probably generous.
That is very generous. I don't think he's 6'10". But if
Yeah.
they say he's 6'10". Did he go to the combine? What he measure at the combine?
Man, I don't know. They lie.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, no, that's why Ace taking hits. Ace didn't come. Ace measured like 6'7" without shoes, and he started taking some hits.
Yeah. Well, O'Connell was 6'1" before he took over the NBA Finals, and then everyone found out he was 5'10". Yeah, that's probably generous.
That's a good point. I mean, the kid had a very productive college career. Doesn't always translate, like you guys said, but
I mean, I think it's worth the risk. The thing about the Hawks, man, like you got to make moves, man. You can't just like for years, fans have always wanted the Hawks to try to make a move in free agency, but they're just not marketable. Nobody wants to go to the Hawks, and I think this is a great opportunity. They got Porzingis, who is a top 5 big man when healthy. So, we'll see. I think they gotta make bold moves and be willing to take risk too.
You like young bull, Colin Sexton as a backup point guard option, Jared?
Yeah, man. I mean, one thing you can count on him is to play good defense, and he brings energy, kind of like Russell Westbrook. And I think any given night he can go from 15 points to 27.
What about Russell Westbrook himself? He's a free agent.
I think the Hawks, if he's available, I would love for them to get him just because of leadership, energy. I think Atlanta fans would love him and I think it would do well for Trae Young too, as far as just to kind of have a mentor who's played in big moments and knows how to handle the media and criticism and stuff like that. I think he would do a lot for Trae Young's career and just the Hawks in general. Yeah, I mean, but when you look at it big picture, I don't see the Hawks contending for the Eastern Conference Finals, but at least not this year. But I think this is a good opportunity for them to just kind of to see what happens. I mean, a couple of years ago, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals.
This is the year for anybody, Jared, I think.
No, I mean the East is kind of it is because
It is open.
Boston. I mean, we don't know what Boston's going to look like next year.
There's no Tatum, no.
If Giannis goes to New York, they are the clear favorites. Yeah, I mean, it is open. I mean, a lot of people are big on Orlando now, so and the Cavs will be in there. We don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs, but they'll be around. So, yeah, I think it is wide open in the East. It is.
It was
Yeah,
shot.
I take that bet. I mean, the Hawks could make some noise, man.
Wait, hold on. Trey shook his head no when I brought up Russell Westbrook as a free agent option. Why were you so adamant about no Russell Westbrook?
I mean, I think Jared made some really good points that made me reconsider a little bit from the leadership standpoint. I just know personally, if I had to watch Russell Westbrook try to shoot threes, I'm going to turn the TV off. So
he said, I can't go a whole lifetime with Josh Smith and Russell Westbrook.
I'm so tired. I know. I remember me and Rashad in the fan sections watching Josh Smith throw up threes from the corner. Hey, shout out to Josh Smith. He was trying to get ahead of the game, knowing that the NBA was shifting over to bigs having to shoot threes. It just never worked for him. But I don't want to watch Russell Westbrook. But I think Jared made some really good points about like leadership, and he would bring something that the Hawks don't have today. At least I don't believe they have today.
They need an irritator.
They need a junkyard dog. Like if we get in a fight. Who's really the enforcer on our team?
That's respected around the league.
Yeah, that somebody would be like, all right, like if you run up on, I might take a step back. I might not want to go after him. We don't have one of those. I mean, even the Pacers have. He don't play, but James Johnson. You know what I mean? Like we don't have.
The reason why he on the team.
And think about it, like
he's a kickboxer.
Like what is the Hawks' identity? They don't have one. So if you bring him in, you develop some sort of identity of physicality at least. And then, I think the Trae Young, Kristaps, Porzingis, I think that 1-2 punch, that pick and roll, that could be nasty. If Porzingis is healthy and he's available, you got Jalen Johnson, and company. I think it could work.
I just thought about something. Is Kristaps the first player in the Trae era that has a ring already?
Rajon Rondo.
In the Trae era?
Oh, Rondo. I forgot about Rondo.
You mean like ever?
No, the Trae Young era. Since
Trae Young era. Oh.
Yeah. I forgot about Rondo.
Yeah. True.
Hey, the Dream lost tonight, but at least Ryan Howard had 23 points. They lost by double digits.
Trae, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, bro.
What's up?
Bro.
Say that again, Jared.
I don't mean this in the wrong way, Trae, but you look like Shedeur Sanders, bro. He look like Shedeur Sanders, bro.
That's a first.
No disrespect. That's the first thing I noticed.
Ain't no disrespect. You relayed me to prime time. Ain't never done. No disrespect.
Yeah. He said Trae look like Shedeur?
Yeah.
Trae don't look like no dang.
Yes, he does, bro. Does he not? We got the beard. Look, he got the prime time smile.
It's just black, bro.
Low key.
I can see it. I can see it.
Bro, Trae don't look like no Shedeur Sanders.
I can see it, bro. He looks just like him, bro. He looks just like him. If he grew his hair out, bro, I would have thought that was Shedeur.
Yeah, if he grew his hair out for sure. Yeah.
SSB said he don't look like Shedeur. Shout out SSB, man.
Yes, he does, bro.
Yeah, he does. I can see the vision. Hey, Rashad.
You got the prime time spot.
I just saw this. Would you use your trade exception for Nickel Walker-Alexander sign a trade?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier with when Wes was on. Yeah, I mean, it depends on because Wes was talking about maybe a couple future picks, Kobe Buck. I'm like, hold on. I ain't doing all that for no Nickel. It ain't his cousin. It ain't SGA. This the other cousin. This
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a backup point guard. He's just a backup point guard, but he's a solid backup point guard option, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a trade exemption and maybe like a Kobe Buffkin, you get him out of here, you end that chapter completely, and you bring Bro in, I'm with it. But if you talking about Kobe, then somebody else, and then a pick. No, I ain't doing all that for no Nickel. He ain't his cousin.
He definitely has cousin. You're right.
Yeah, that would be a bad move.
No, I would do it. I would get rid of Kobe in the pick and move on.
You guys think the Hawks are done? You think that's it for them?
Because they got their trade player exemption.
Yeah, they have to
25
make another
million.
move.
They got to use it by July 7th.
Man, who could they get?
I'm either thinking Nickel or Cam Johnson. Those
I
are
would love Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson?
Yeah,
That's good. That's a good pickup.
I would love Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Could we get Nas Reed?
I don't know, man. Is he
Sign and trade?
Nas
Well,
Reed?
Oh, he's
Gotta be signed trade, right?
They love him. He
Yeah,
darn
I
near
don't
got a
see Minnesota.
Nas
doing it.
Reed day. They ain't even win a ring. He got a Nas Reed day in Minnesota. It's crazy.
No, you don't.
I don't anticipate Minnesota breaking there.
He don't, but he had the governor, Tim Walz. He wrote like a thing. It was like, shout out Nas Reed. It was like randomly, like in an official statement. Like Tim Walz wrote, shout out Nas Reed. He singled out Nas Reed.
I don't know, man.
I mean, they didn't start him. I think they were trying to trade Rudy for KD, and somebody else. I mean, of course, if they traded Rudy, he was going to be the starting center. So
I ain't treating. Yeah,
It seems like our options are getting a little.
If I was Minnesota, I wouldn't trade that.
Like because Jaylen Brown is too expensive, so that that's over with. But it's just like you just have to look at who's $25 million, and the list is like pretty short.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. They might
Cam make 30,
if
right?
You don't want to force it. You know what I mean?
I'm about to look up Cam right now.
I think he made $30 million.
Cam Johnson make 30?
I think so. Well,
Man, boy, I should have. Hey Trey, I should have kept dribbling that basketball, won't it?
No, you shouldn't. You gave it up right in time, coach.
all right, I got another one. What about Malik
Cam
Monk?
Johnson getting 30? Goodness gracious!
Malik Monk?
What about Malik Monk?
I
forgot
love
about
Malik
that.
Monk. I don't know, but that's like Jonte Murray over again with Trae Young. I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Hey,
Malik Monk's a bucket though.
I'll give you a name that's in that 25 million range. Not saying that I don't want him, but Julius Randle. He makes 27.
Oh yeah, I'm good on that.
I'm straight.
Don't he
I don't want him. I'm just
No
saying, but you
disrespect
gotta
to Julius
use
Randle,
it. Is he the worst thing that you could use it on?
No. I think
Where do you get this 30 from? Christian?
Oh, he's not. Okay, no, I thought it was
23.
Yeah, that
Seven.
sounds about right.
You make it 21.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that makes Ricochet is going to the bench then if Cam Johnson come here.
Nah, Cam Johnson backing up Ricochet. He's number one pick.
No, bro. I'm playing Cam.
Cam started.
Cam is better right now, but Ricochet is the number one, and he's gonna probably eventually be better.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay. All right.
You don't want to break his confidence this early.
Cam Johnson's a good player.
He is a really good player.
That's a good point.
I don't know, man. It just sounds like the Hawks could be done because what's the starting five? Young,
Dyson.
Ricochet, Dyson
Daniels, and
Porzingis and Daniels.
I don't think they start Porzingis.
What?
No, I
you
don't think
have
he
to
starts
start
either.
Porzingis.
I think he's
Come off the bench.
No, that makes no sense.
I would not be
He's
surprised.
a top five. He's a top five big man when healthy. Why would you do that?
That's the problem. I mean, I think honestly, right now,
You don't make a move like that to put a guy on the bench. That doesn't make any sense.
So Onyeka goes to the bench.
Huh?
You think Onyeka goes to the bench now?
Bro, Kristaps Porzingis is starting no matter what.
Yeah.
I won't say that.
You don't make a move like that to put him on the bench. That makes no sense.
You
Wait, how
can.
much I was making?
30.
Huh?
It don't
30?
matter.
30?
You want him to stay healthy or not? Put him on the bench.
Bro, no, you don't put him on the bench, bro.
Oh,
I think he only plays 25 minutes.
He's paid to play and stay healthy.
Okay, well, good luck.
It really doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't matter if he gets hurt. If he's available in the playoffs, that's all that matters.
That's true. That's true.
As presently constructed, if we don't
Please,
make
30
moves,
million. I'm sorry, Trey. I'm sorry, Trey. 30 million is crazy. But yeah. I mean, they said it when they made the trade, but seeing it in praise is just like 30 million is crazy.
I mean, it's not that crazy, bro.
wait,
It's
is this an
Porzingis.
expiring contract after 1 year?
Yeah,
Yeah, expiring,
that's
yeah.
why they probably made the deal.
Yeah, it's low risk. It's low risk.
Yeah, and they kept
It's
him
definitely
25
risky.
million. So
Yeah. Are we
that's
out
why.
of the
That's why I
play-in
was
now?
saying it's a good move because if he plays well, you extend. If not,
No.
then back on the market.
Yeah.
Did you say,
Yeah, I
Trey?
think are we out of the play-in now?
I don't know about that.
TBD.
Maybe.
If Jalen Johnson and Kristaps Porzingis play 50 games, they're out of the play-in.
Yeah.
That's true.
Big if, massive
That's
if,
a
actually.
huge if.
I mean, the way I see it is, well, it depends on what happens with Giannis. I'm thinking Giannis potentially goes to New York, maybe. I would have Knicks 1, Cavs 2, Magic 3, Boston 4, Hawks 5, 76ers maybe 6.
That's out of the play-in.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Oh, I forgot about Detroit. Yeah. Maybe like 5 or 6 for Detroit.
So you got us in the top 7. That's out of the play-in, right? Or the top 6.
6.
Yeah,
They need
Yeah.
to
Okay.
Because it's 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I really like Detroit. I really do, man. I feel like I'm the minority in that.
Right now, I got Cleveland, probably Orlando too.
You are high on the Magic. I respect it, bro.
Maybe.
You've been watching. I feel like you've been watching Magic games since I moved here.
Well, no, he really, they in the same division, so it's like, we seen like 4 times.
You picked them to go to the finals though, which is like crazy.
Yeah. Last season, I picked them to go to the finals this year because it's like I knew a random team was coming out of the East because
Granted,
it's just
the
been that
Magic
way
weren't
ever
healthy,
since, like,
so we never really know. So
yeah, but it's been that way ever since LeBron left the East. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be a random team in the East, and then I was just like, Orlando could be it. And
I forgot about the Pacers thing. My bad, I'm tripping.
And it was a random team out of the
They'll
East.
take a step back though. They were 4 this year. They probably maybe 5 or 6 next year without Halliburton. They still got a solid
That's
team.
right. He'll be out.
They might.
And the East is gonna look weird next year.
Yeah.
I think the Hawks are out of the play-in, folks.
I got Knicks
All
1.
right. Hey, wait, hold on. Cleveland 1
for
Orlando
next year.
2. Yeah. New York 3. 4 Detroit. 5 could be the Hawks.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, a Pistons
we're out of the
Hawks series.
play-in.
I'll take it.
And then so now the play-in.
Who's
Milwaukee,
6?
or Philly,
Miami.
the Hornets and the Bulls, because the Bulls. Oh, no, the Raptors, because Brandon Ingram coming back next season.
Yeah.
They got Brandon Ingram. They're still 10.
Did you put Sixers in there at all?
Yeah. I put the Sixers at like 8, 7.
Who'd you have at 6 for shot?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee at 6 without Dame.
Yeah, without Dame, just Giannis.
Yeah, he can.
Oh, you
carry
think he's going back?
Yeah, he got to. Yeah, I think so.
Really? You think he's staying?
It's one of them situations. It's like the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
Definitely not.
I mean, yeah.
You threw Charlotte in there. Did you throw them in the top 8?
Yeah,
I
was
put
kind of
Charlotte at like 9. I put Charlotte
kind of
at 9.
thrown off. You
It-
think this is?
It's one of them things. If LaMelo plays 60 games, plays 60 games. That's a pretty good team. LaMelo
Hey,
just
Charlotte-
never healthy.
Charlotte could be sneaky good. What if
They're
Ace
fun to
goes-
watch, bro.
If
Sneaky
Ace
good
goes
at
to
doing
Charlotte,
what?
It's been a hoops down there, man. Up there, man.
I think Ace's ceiling is I think his comp, like ceiling comp, is Brandon Miller. So I mean, if you can get
Ooh.
Ace and Brandon Miller on the same team with LaMelo, if Mark Williams plays some games and they got Miles Bridges, they could be the new Orlando. Surprise some people.
I won't go that far.
They too immature.
Yeah, they are immature, but they could be from a talent standpoint. Man, probably the new Detroit, not Orlando.
Well, Charlotte doesn't have Apollo Banchero.
No, they don't.
They got LaMelo.
LaMelo's tough, bro. LaMelo might be one of the more underrated players in the league now. Bro.
No, yeah, I love watching LaMelo. I've seen him play in person a couple of times, and it's like street ball. It's crazy. It's got to stay
They
healthy.
don't care about winning.
Oh, let me see something. Cause I pulled this up and I stand by what I said. They just black.
Bro, that is definitely Trey, bro. That's Trey.
No, it's a smile. It's a smile.
Bro,
They did pull out the LinkedIn picture. No,
Bro,
Yeah. I was trying to see it. It was like they
That's
are
great.
just black, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's
If
crazy.
he had hair, bro, this would be a lock.
Oh,
Exactly.
no, bro. Y'all got to. I feel like I'm the most qualified to speak on this as someone who has followed Shador around for 2 years and someone who has known Trey since Trey was like 11. Like I feel like I'm the most qualified to speak on this. I've been around both of them for elongated periods of time.
I mean, we all have eyes, bro. You're not the only person.
Don't be rich. Don't be rich real quick. Don't be rich.
Yes, bro. You see?
Bruh.
I'm glad I don't have an Apple Watch on today, so we good.
All right. Is there anything else before we get out of here that anybody else got to ask, talk about before the draft?
How do you feel about that pointless Pelicans Wizards transaction?
I don't know how the money looks because I was like, it might be a money move. I don't know. But if CJ had, wishes of like going to a winning franchise or a more stable franchise, like DC is not it. So
I was gonna say, what are you about to say?
no, it's just not it. It was just like, so I'm just trying to, if anything, maybe like New Orleans was just like, okay,
Change
you
the
replace
culture.
an old CJ McCollum with the young CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it could be interesting. Poole and Zion if he's healthy.
But CJ was cold. Like CJ will randomly just put up like 40, bro, last year.
And then he would go missing.
Yeah.
What would you say, Crit?
And then he would go missing when you needed the most.
I think they're just
Yeah.
teams that are just rebuilding that just made some moves just because they needed to.
You would think like it's like money, like kind of thinking about the future and stuff like that. Maybe
Well, all
New
the
Orleans-
moves are about money. I mean, because of this new apron.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Which I do love. I want to say this too. I am so glad the NBA is putting this apron because it's nice for the NBA to go back to like building teams like through the draft, with like maybe 2 superstar players and not just being so front heavy. Like it's nice to see that again.
But the super teams were starting to die out because like they weren't winning anymore. Like they used to be winning.
I mean, you had the Lakers, and then you had the Celtics, and then you had the Heat.
That wasn't no like.
And then you had the Warriors.
Lakers,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
those were all successful runs.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about like the 2020 Lakers. Like that wasn't really a super team. Like
No, that wasn't a
just
super team. No.
Yeah, that was.
I'm
old
talking
guys
about
that
like
just trying to put
Kobe,
a vet in them.
Gasol, like Odom. I'm talking about that era.
That wasn't a super team though.
Like,
Mm,
yes,
that-
it was.
I thought it was a super team.
Paul
low-key,
Gasol,
I
Kobe
ain't gonna lie.
Bryant, Lamar Odom,
Because Bynum was an all-star.
Andrew
Paul
Bynum,
Gasol
bro, that was a
all-star.
super team.
Kobe was.
Andrew Bynum was
Kobe.
what? He was probably the best big man in the league at the time, right?
Oh, Dwight Howard.
And a straight head
Okay,
case.
well, yeah, okay, all right, top 5.
Yeah.
And I meant to say this when I was talking about CJ McCollum. Did y'all see he apparently he tweeted earlier? There was he said like it was like the funniest tweet I saw was that somebody blaming me for the tariff because everybody blaming for the CBA, and somebody searched it and nobody tweeted that at all.
Wow.
That's actually hilarious because he actually is on the committee, right?
Yeah, he's the president.
Oh, he's the
Yeah.
president.
It's
So he
crazy
did it to
because
himself.
I wanted to literally ask him about anything CBA related in his exit interviews, but the Pelicans end up doing exit interviews before the last game of the season, so they sneaked it in.
Yeah.
And then when I showed up to the last game of the season, I didn't send my email, and every time I didn't send my email before, they just wrote me up a credential and let me through. I don't think I was supposed to say that, But like, but the last game they was like, nah, Rashad, you gotta go. I said, dang, bro. I was like, well, I'll see y'all this offseason. They said, I'll see you, bro. And I had to turn around, but like, they probably
They let you win the game. Who was the last game of the season?
I don't know. It was like pointless because they shut down everybody 2 weeks before, so it was literally just like I'm just going, last game of the season and stuff like that. I didn't know they were doing exit interviews before the last game, so it's kind of like they. Nah, see, I don't want to say this publicly, so I'll stop there.
I'll say it for you. They didn't. They was hiding the players. I'll say it for you.
You said it, not I. But yeah. Like I definitely wanted to ask CJ about like how he takes, because the Luka trade, everybody was like CJ McCollum's fault, and I would have loved to hear like his take on that, his defense to like his kind of the deal that he negotiated and stuff like that. But I never got to ask him.
Yeah. That is interesting.
The Wizards have Marcus Smart, CJ McCollum, and Chris Middleton.
Just random players, bro.
Those are just like
just like all like
washed through. I don't want
players.
to call them washed because they still can play, but like
they're just leaders that come off the bench.
It's a very unnecessary team.
Another funny tweet I saw about those three. They said that those three are like the R&B group that lost all their masters and they still got a performance.
I saw that.
Marcus Smart is about to become an ESPN personality and just give it up.
Oh no, 100%. He's definitely on the Morris brothers projection.
Yeah.
Malik, I wanted to ask you because you wanted to talk about this the whole time. The KD trade. What about the KD trade specifically did you want to talk about?
Bro, I just think it was terrible for Houston and KD. Like, I think out of all the options that he chose or that he wanted to go to, I think Houston was like the worst one. Because it was like, I'm sure Rashad feels because we talked about this, but I think at this point in KD's career, like, I don't think he's like a number one option. Like, I think he's a great number two. I'm being completely honest.
Bro, he averaged 27 points last year. What are you talking about?
And what did the Suns do?
Well, that's not the point. He's been averaging 27 points, even though the Suns have been trashed the last 3 seasons.
I agree with Malik.
He's averaging all these points, but it's like,
but if we're going to talk about the individual, not the team, like it's still 27. Like he's still.
Zach LaVine be averaging 27.
I agree with Malik.
You're gonna compare Zach LaVine to Kevin Durant.
They be winning the same amount of games.
See, this is the problem, bro, because I feel like there's so much Kevin Durant disrespect now, and it's so annoying. And I hope he just proves everybody wrong. I mean, I don't have them going to the Western Conference Finals, but I just want people to see like he's still Kevin Durant. Like, I feel like all these like, yeah, bro, y'all been disrespecting Kevin Durant, and it's annoying. Y'all be talking about this man like he's not one of the greatest scorers ever to pick up a basketball.
He is. I'm not taking that away from him. I just feel like at this point in his career, I think that he's a great number two.
He's a number one option, but you don't break the bank for him. That's all it is.
I think this helps him though. I mean, the way the team is constructed, I think this will be good for him. The way the Phoenix was poorly constructed, but they didn't really give up much. Jalen Green wasn't going anywhere. I mean, okay, close to a swap. You rather have KD over Jalen Green. They lost Dylan Brooks. They lost a little bit of toughness, but they still got Tari Eason. They still got Sengun. They still got Freddie V out there. Like their roster still is pretty good. They didn't give up a lot. I think this will actually do like I think he'll actually do well. Now, will they win the West? I can't say that.
No, I don't think they will.
But they're number 2 seed without him last year, so you would imagine they will at least be number 2 seed again with him. I think they can get to the conference finals possibly. They lost to the Warriors. If he's there last year, they probably don't lose to the Warriors. So they get to the second round and then go from there.
Yeah, true. But who knows what the Lakers and Luka's going to look like now with LeBron?
The same.
I want to ask Malik because he made the first comment. If he's a great number 2 option, who's number 1 on the Rockets? Who are you saying is number 1 option?
Bro, why are we even entertaining it? He's the number.
He said it. Option. He said it. If you're gonna call him a number 2, that means you have somebody that's number 1 in mind.
Do they have one? Is it Sengun?
You think it's Jabari Smith?
I don't think it's.
No, it's not Jabari Smith.
What I'm saying is, I think of course, like I would assume he's the number one. I wouldn't put Van Fleet or anybody. I think he's the number one by default in Houston. But I'm saying if he would have went anywhere else, like San Antonio or
He's
maybe,
still a one option.
Or Minnesota.
Minnesota's probably the only place he would have gone that would have been.
Hey, yeah, sure. Maybe
But,
Cohen.
yeah.
I even like him better in Miami than I like him in Houston.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh.
Oh no. Please no.
No, are you serious?
This is his best fit, bro. I'm telling you, this is best fit.
Nah, Jared got a good point. Jared got a good
No, I'm
point.
saying because look at the roster. The rosters can they can
It's the
insulate
best.
very well.
It's the best fit because the roster didn't have to trade off half their players.
They did it.
So like his value dropping helps him and the team to contend.
Yeah.
Nah, Jared got a
This is
good
his
point.
best fit. If he would have went to Miami, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could have said Minnesota. That would have been a good fit, but he just didn't want to go there.
I don't think he want to go to the cold, but Jared got a good point. There's not a place that was on his list that he was going to go and not be the number one option.
Yeah.
Outside of
Minnesota.
What are we talking about, bro?
Hey, man, we'll see.
7
What
points
I
over the last
want to see?
5 seasons.
Shingun.
But the KD respect, bro.
Thompson, I would imagine Thompson go take another step this
Oh
year.
yeah, Thompson is really him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he's the
Thompson
number one
really-
option.
He got to get a jump shot, but yeah.
No. He not number one option right now, but he can make that leap to be number one option over KD. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. KD, he is, what I'm saying, reunited with his boyfriend, of yo KD. You know what I'm saying? So like he got that entire thing. He gonna be playing motivated. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
He said he playing, rain in Houston before every game, man. And Drake probably gonna be at a couple of games. Champagne probably gonna be courtside. You know what I mean? Give him that in. You know what I mean?
I'm not even entertaining that.
Hey man, you
Leave
said
that
something.
alone.
Sir Thompson, bro. He's that guy, bro.
I mean.
Amin Thompson, yeah. Amin Thompson, he's that guy. Look, I'm gonna say something off the wall.
Best defender in the league?
I'm gonna say he's definitely a top 3 defender, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you look up 5 years from now and he turned into a Shea.
That's quite the take.
That is a very hot take.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want to see all that ages. If he gets a consistent mid-range game, he already has the length, he has the speed, the quickness, the athleticism. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not, obviously maybe not as good as Shea, but like he could go for a Shea season. Maybe not a Shea season, actually. He probably just has the potential at a very high ceiling. If he maximizes everything he got available to him, I could see him being kind of Shea.
I'll pass on that, but
let it ride.
Yeah, I'll pass, but okay.
What does he have that his brother doesn't?
To be honest with you, I think he's played. He's played. His brother didn't play. His brother missed part of his rookie season and a lot of last year with blood clots, and then I think also Amen has a bigger role. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Shout out to their dad, bro. We ain't heard a word from his dad, bro.
Shout out to his dad for being silent.
Nah, both of them boys is tough. Like,
you mean
see
like
any
genetics?
brothers like that, you gonna hear the daddy.
You mean like genetics?
No, I mean just like speaking. Like, you got 2 sons that are like 2 of the top 2 young stars in the NBA. They went top 5 in the draft back to back.
Oh,
you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't heard a word from they pops.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I done heard OTE brag more about the boys than their own family.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens on the draft. I'm sure it'll be some crazy moves involving some players in the NBA already.
100%. So I guess that's pretty much it because that was the main thing I wanted to circle back on. I know.
Wait. Sorry,
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
On the OTE thing, right? Aren't they
Yeah.
like the only guys from OTE to make it to the league?
Cap.
No, that's no. Who else?
But buddy on the Hawks,
Who?
Dominique Barlow,
Again, who?
Was it?
Rob Dillingham. Don't do that.
Rob went to Kentucky.
He went to Kentucky.
Oh, dang! You talking about straight out of OTE? I'm
Oh,
talking about OTE in the
I'm saying the point of OTE was to avoid college and go to the league, right? Well, that didn't turn out too well.
Are you counting Alex Sarr? Is he going to count?
Yeah, does
All
he
right,
count?
well, he played in France though. No.
No, he played in Australia.
Australia. Sorry. Oh, Australia. Okay.
If
Australia.
you talk about people that came out straight out of OT, then
Yeah, straight out OT to the league.
Oh, Barlow. Barlow was the only other
Barlow.
one.
Tyler Smith, but I don't think he made the team.
Tyler got drafted by the Bucks, right?
So this pretty much went the way of
he actually went the G League at night route. I guess it's not OTE.
And they essentially ended up being the same thing. And guys start going back to college again. So at this point, I think it's just like guys go straight to the league if they want to, because they tried the OTE, they tried to Ignite, and neither one of them really turned out to be that successful. Ignite had a little bit more success than OTE did. You know, you had Jalen Green, Dyson Daniels. You had a few more guys make it that way, but that folded.
Kaminga.
Kaminga, yeah.
Kaminga, yeah.
Do you use the trade deception on Kaminga? On Kamunga?
What is that?
Do you use the trade deception on him?
I would. I would take a shot. It's worth the risk, I think, because his upside can be pretty high if you give him a bigger role. So I would go for it.
Scoot Henderson came out of G League at night as well too.
Yeah. So G League had some success.
Oh yeah, they I ain't gonna. Hey, I love OTE, but like in terms of direct OTE to the league, because I feel like OTE does have a good OTE for high school. Go somewhere else, and then you could succeed.
Yeah, Ron Holland and Boots Ellis came out of there too as well from the Ignite team.
Oh, you're right, Ron Holland. Okay,
they wash OTE like
Jaden Hardy. They got a couple guys that came out.
Yeah, Ignite was successful. Yeah, but OTE was not.
I wonder why they folded then.
The Ignite?
Yeah.
Good question.
That's a good question.
That's an Adam Silver question, I guess.
I just saw this on Twitter or X. Orlando Magic are the most bet team to win the finals next year.
The whole finals or Eastern?
Yeah.
The finals. Which
no way.
No.
The Orlando Magic are the most. I mean, hard bet. They put that out. Yeah.
I wouldn't put my money on that.
I think they could definitely make the finals, though.
They could definitely make the finals, yeah. You know, I picked them last year before the Bane trade.
Bro, I love that Bane move, bro. Man, that was perfect. Move. You don't like the move, but I love it.
First is crazy.
Oh yeah, Jared, how do you feel about the picks?
It was a good pick, man. Those first round picks mean nothing to the Magic, bro. They have their core starting five, and you have a good solid bench. Now you just need leadership and 3-point shooting, bro. The Magic was the worst team in the NBA from three. Now you got a guy who's a guy who plays physical and defense, one of the best shooters in the NBA. It's a great move. Great passer too, physical. I mean, it's like, yeah. The only question mark now is like, people are saying like, oh well, should the Magic make a move to try to improve their center? Because they have Wendell Carter Jr. I mean, sure. I mean, that's a bonus. I mean, he's not a top 5 big man, but he's still a solid player who can shoot.
Is Mo gonna be for a season?
What's up?
Is Mo gonna be? Is he healthy? Is going to be healthy to start the season?
Right?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he tore something. I remember.
Yeah,
it was like early.
I don't know if he's going to be healthy at the start, but he'll be available at some point. He should be though, because he got hurt. I want to say 3/4 through the season.
I think.
So,
because folks was talking about him like being a potential 6th man of the year around that time.
Yeah, he was balling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was having, I think, his best season, probably. So
they struck gold with them with that the other boy.
Paolo and Franz. Imagine drafting
They
2-star
struck
players,
gold.
bro, back to back.
Man, you know what? When he's at Michigan, I did not see him being this good.
Me either.
I did not. I mean, I liked him, but
Nobody
I thought
did.
I thought he like in the big moments didn't show up, and he completely proved me wrong.
They struck gold.
Franz, he's a star, bro. And the Magic got lucky. Now what's going to happen? They're going to run into a problem when it's time to pay them again. Well,
I mean, you could pay Paolo and you could pay
Paolo gets paid this year.
Franz, right? You could pay both of them.
Yeah, I mean, because Paolo's still on his rookie deal. He'll get the Supermax.
Yeah.
Franz, maybe Supermax.
I would give him Supermax.
He deserves it.
Scoot.
Yeah.
Another Cobb County kid.
So we'll see, man.
Atlanta really running the league for like the past 5 drafts. The Metro Atlanta area has been running the NBA, like the NBA draft.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not shocking. I mean, Atlanta basketball has always been good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like if I've ever remember a time where it was this heavy though, like towards the beginning of the draft, like year after year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No. I mean, Dwight Howard, Josh Smith.
I was just about to say that, but they weren't drafted together.
I mean, Dwight went 1, and then Josh Smith went like 18. You know, he went like 17.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like years.
Oh, just getting
I don't think
drafted.
they came out in the same year.
And then Lou Will went like 25. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about top 10.
Like top 10, like multiple. Okay. Like it was like Isaac Okoro went 8.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards
went 8th. Wendell Carter Jr. went 7th.
Anthony Edwards
went 1. You know, you got the kid this year, Ace Bailey is probably going top 10. You know, I don't know. I've never seen this in Atlanta.
That's good.
Back-to-back years.
A lot of people flocking to Georgia though, just from like a macroeconomic standpoint, like everybody moving to Georgia. So it makes sense. And the AAU game here is like very, very big outside of like maybe Texas.
Yeah.
Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Good talk.
Yep. Got slide.
Football season is around the corner. I'll be making my regular appearances on here.
All right. Hold on. Let me pull you up, Jared. Let me pull you up before you get out of here. Shouts out to Jared. Shouts out Trey. Shouts out to Crit. This Jared, y'all make sure y'all follow his Twitter, things of that sort. He does play-by-play. He'll be doing some play-by-play a lot this fall because it is his season, football season, things of that sort, down in Orlando, Florida, and all throughout the South. For real. He'd be up in Atlanta sometimes as well.
Yes, sir.
Crit. Hold on.
Appreciate the time, fellas. As a fan.
Trey does not do media. He just loves sports.
I'm just a fan, so I appreciate y'all letting a fan represent. So,
oh no, for sure.
All good. Should do it. All good, bro.
For sure.
Crit, what's your Twitter?
It should be Chris_Crit.
All right, hold on. I'll make sure y'all follow Crit. There we go. I found it. Y'all make sure y'all follow Crit with MLB Bro. Does a few other things and stuff like that. Always pretty much active around the scene. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Hold on, I'll pull up Malik just for the sport of it. Now since we already here. And then Malik.
You on every night, Rashad? My bad.
I'm like this. Not even as crazy as it sounds. This is not even my nightly stream. This is Birds and Buckets, the Hawks pod. I gotta go stream
it on here more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm live every day just in general. But Birds and Buckets, we do this once a week. Myself and Malik. And then Malik _Malik ATL as always, for sure. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it. I appreciate the fellas, everything like that, stopping by. Yeah, I guess enjoy the draft, man. We'll see y'all. Like I said, I'm working the draft, so like I don't know if Malik is gonna be up at like midnight to do a post.
I might still go to the arena.
Yeah. Oh, you might still be at the arena. So shoot, you might be able to do it then. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can't guarantee any more Birds and Buckets episodes this week, but we'll definitely be back by next week. So until then, as always, man, I'm Rashad. Y'all boys be easy. Peace.
See you next time.
And if they come out clean.